beautiful people. It is Monday morning. Oh my gosh. So let's go for a 5 for 5 and let's talk about mindset. What's your mindset? Do you feel worthy of making your sales? That's a big deal. I mean, if you are always living in lack, if you're always saying, oh my gosh, am I going to be able to pay the car payment or make the rent or something like that because your mindset is in lack. Um, that's a big deal. Working on yourself, working on your mindset, knowing that you are worthy, knowing that there is enough for all of us is really a big deal. You know, some artists are thinking that if they make a sale, it's taking something away from someone else. And that's not the truth of it. The truth is that there is more than enough in this great, big, beautiful world for all of us. Which brings me to my philosophy for you. Because I'm an artist, I understand the need to continue to work. The business side of art for many artists, for fine artists, is kind of an aside. You think that there's going to be someone who's going to come along and make a difference in your art. Either a gallery is going to sell your art, or you're going to be posting on some kind of social media, and that's going to make a difference in your art. And sometimes that does happen. But being more purposeful is really the strategy, and understanding how to use social media in order to make those sales without social media taking over your life is what I really focus on. I focus on you making a living wage. Now, over the weekend, I had the opportunity to go over some videos that another marketer was advocating, lower your prices, lower your prices. And there are some artists that want to do that because they just want to make those sales. You know, they do it in volume. And there was an event that I was at in Sedona a few years ago where that was the strategy of an artist. Now, the higher end artists were not making sales because their price point was too high for the average consumer. Now, this guy, because his prices were lower, I mean, they were flying off the wall for him. That might be a strategy for you, that you make it up in volume. Are you a prolific painter, or do you have a stockpile of paintings that are just sitting in your studio that you're going, I'd love to find a home for this one? Well, maybe lowering your prices is a good idea. My strategy is always to find you the collector that is going to pay the price point that you're looking for. Because I really advocate what you do is really important, and you deserve to make an incredible living from the amount of study. You know, art is not, it's not an easy subject, right? I mean, whenever an artist is creating, you are balancing design, value, perspective, color temperature. There are so many things that an artist is balancing all at once. And when you learn how to do that, edges, I mean, oh my gosh, there's just so much that an artist is balancing. And when your skills have developed to a stage that you are able to put in the critical thinking that goes into managing all of these elements all at once, then you have arrived to a place where your skill should be compensated at a higher level. And that's something that I really advocate. Finding the collectors for you, making sure that you are getting what you have in your mind, your heart to get for your work. and there are ways to find them without it taking forever in your day, right? You can go and spend hours and hours and hours doing the things that I advocate, finding groups to post your work in. And there's a strategy. You just don't go into a group and say, hey, I've arrived, here's my work. That's not the strategy. But the strategy is to go in and make yourself seen and communicate with others, but not allowing it to take over your life, because there are many artists that I know. One of my clients, he talks about, yeah, I go onto social media and pretty soon I'm down this rabbit hole, that is really consuming of my time. Right. I go in and think that I'm just going to put in a post, and I start looking at all of the stuff that's scrolling down my feed, and suddenly, I'm liking, and are you liking the things that are promoting your art? Not promoting it just to other artists, promoting it to collectors. Finding those collectors is really a big deal, right? And they're out there. They're out there for you. They're out there waiting for you. But you have to have the mindset that your business is worth the investment of your time. And I advocate 15 minutes a day, right? If you spend 15 minutes a day, and we all have a timer now because we have smartphones, right? Unless you're one artist that I've recently become familiar with, Blaine, who's still using a flip phone. But I dare say that there's a timer on that as well. So utilizing the timer on your smartphone to keep yourself from going down that rabbit hole is really, it keeps you in front of the canvas, behind the brush, or sculpting, or doing your photography, or writing, whatever it is that you're doing as an artist. Now, I have a tendency to talk about painters because that's what I am. I'm a painter. So a lot of my talk is about painting, but it's true in every single field of creativity. What are you doing? What does it look like? And are you feeling that it's worth your time and investment? Oh, I'm not going to do this. I'm just a painter. Well, you're not just a painter. You are somebody who is bringing incredible value to this world by saying what is in your heart and putting it on canvas, or sculpting it, or taking a photograph. You see something that nobody else sees, and you're sharing that with the world. Really super important, because the love, the passion, the drive that you have to continue to do what you do is powerful. There are paintings that I have on my walls from incredible artists. I've been really blessed to have collected some really incredible pieces for myself. And I look at them and they take me to a time and a place that I might not otherwise go. And that's valuable. That's valuable to me. And I know that I am not the only one that experiences that. A collector, it takes them to a time in their life, or reminds them of something that they have done, or a place that they have been, or an emotion that comes up for them. It's really incredibly valuable when you're touching people on that emotional spot, in that emotional spot, and you're evoking those emotions for them. That is powerful stuff. Because if we're all finding a place of peace, love, and contentment, we have the opportunity to change the world, right? And you do that through your art. So, what's your mindset? I'd love to know. Do you think that you're worthy of making your sales, or are you just an artist? Is that how you see yourself? And I've got another question for you. Are you a full-time artist? Is that how you make your living? Or are you a hobbyist? Now, there's no right or wrong answer to this, I'm just wanting to understand where you're at. Are you just trying to make sales on the side of your regular job? Would you like to transition into being a full-time artist? Is that your dream? What does that look like for you? And are you willing to dedicate the time that it takes to make that happen? Right? So I'm going to drop the link to my calendar, and I would love to talk to you about your art business because every artist has a completely different brand. The objective is the same, to find collectors, to make sales. The objective is the same, but every brand is different. How you approach it is different. So schedule some time with me. I would love to chat with you. And I want you to go out. Oh, let's do our 5 for 5 this week. Set your intention. 5 things, just one thing a day, 5 for 5. This morning, what are 5 things that you would like to accomplish in your art business? 5 of them. And for each of those 5, set a 15-minute timer. It's really a helpful thing for you to do. It will make a difference in the amount of work that you get done on your art business, and it won't feel so burdensome. So set that 15-minute timer, and let's go for 5 for 5. I would love to hear what your 5 for 5 are. Okay, go out and have a fantastic day. I know I'm going to.